It's another exciting episode of Broad Daylight with me, Priscilla Moore. This is the only show that brings the right guests, asks the right questions, and bring out the relevant accents or answers for you to know what you're supposed to do, irrespective of the sector that you find yourself. Today, my guest is no other than Mr. Karel de Heer, the President and CEO of African Technology Partner Limited. And today we'll be talking about supporting the youth through private equity and incubation. So join us and let's have some fun and learn as well. Say you're welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here again.
Yeah, it's good to be here again.
Yeah.
How was your weekend going? How was your holiday?
Well, the weekend has been fine. A long holiday, celebration of the Muslim festival as well. I think, yeah, it's all good. Time to rest.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because tomorrow we are kickstarting another.
Indeed.
Another
but
day.
it's going to be a short week, so
yeah.
I think it's not that bad. Yeah, it's not that bad.
I see.
Yeah, as long as we make good use of the 3 days we have productively, then that's fine. Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah. Interesting. Great seeing you again. So today we will be talking about supporting the youth through private equity and then incubation. But before that, can you tell us a little bit about your firm? What do you do?
African Technology Partners is a technology and telecommunication infrastructure company.
Okay.
On the technology side, we actually help to bring network solutions or security-based solutions into the market to support the private sector especially.
Okay.
But then we also do the telephony aspect where we actually help and support the mobile companies, the telephonic companies to actually put in place infrastructures, towers into rural areas and semi-urban areas.
Okay.
We are also venturing into other sides of technology which actually will provide platform-based and online services.
Okay.
So for instance, the new thing is not only artificial intelligence, but also digital onboarding.
Okay.
We are in that space where we are helping to redefine that space across the African market.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So do you find a lot of young people venturing into what you are doing?
It is the era of the young people, which actually makes today's discussion very exciting for me. Because when you look at things like artificial intelligence, a lot of the things that we do there in that space is geared towards young people. The future belongs to the youth. So the things that are being developed there, the things that you are able to do there are all things that they will actually champion. The creative ideas are going to come. Yes, there are certain people of my age and probably slightly older than me who may have ideas about AI, artificial intelligence. But on the whole, on the greater sphere, it's young people that are going to actually imagine things. And they say, yes, we can do this, we can do that. Yes, this is not impossible anymore. Yes, with a bit of technology, we can actually create this environment, this solution. Let me give a typical example. As far back as 2006, and this is crazy, but 2006, I actually imagined one day having an environment where sitting in Accra, I could have lunch with somebody who is actually in Hong Kong.
How? How?
And that was not possible then.
Okay.
But today with artificial intelligence, I can create a technology environment where with video cameras and whatever you have, the person will be in their sitting room. Time differences are there, but you could create it that they will all look exactly the same.
Wow.
Where I can be having lunch here, they can be having lunch, but when they are projected, you think we are in the same room. Artificial intelligence.
Wow. Wow. Interesting.
That is as far back as 2006. Today, it is a reality that people are doing. In 2009-10, I saw the first evidence of what I thought of that's 3 years down the road, of somebody actually preparing a music video of Tupac collaborating with somebody.
Okay.
And as Tupac had been dead by then, but they actually produced that video with Tupac and the person actually singing, so it's a collaboration. I was like, hey, this is possible. So today, for instance, you have Zoom. If you project Zoom properly, and you look, for instance, when you have maybe the quartet or whatever singing, and people are based in different countries and they actually have a concert, What do you and I see? We just see one set of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then that is what it is. They are in different places. And they are using artificial intelligence. They are using augmented reality. They are using a whole lot of other things to ensure that things becoming real now. Nothing is impossible anymore.
Wow. Interesting. So
One day,
okay.
you and I are going to be sitting in a place, and I'll probably maybe driving in a different car. You are driving in a different car, but when you actually use AI, it will look as if we're in the same car going somewhere and having the same conversation, doing the same things together. It is all the reality now.
Wow.
It is all the reality now. Nothing is impossible anymore. But this is the era of the youth. Is the youth that sometimes see, imagine, and bring this into reality.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how does supporting the youth through private equity and incubation comes in?
As I said, the raw technical based knowledge is with certain people. They are of a certain age, they experience it, and they have that knowledge to actually share. The vision, person that's going to take the vision and run with it, see beyond what these first people have, the first layer have, are the youth.
Okay.
They are sitting there thinking, yes, when I code, I can actually code for this game to do this. I can code for this product to do this. I can code for a car to be able to actually respond to voice so that I don't have to drive. I just instruct it, and then without any hand touching the steering, it goes. I can code and I just say to my door, when I get to my house, open. It recognizes my voice, artificial intelligence again, and the door opens. Who are the people that are envisioning this? Where does the vision come from? From the young people. Young people become very creative and they test technology. They test reality. They test what is available to them, not to say, look, what is possible and what is not possible. The only thing that we have to be careful about is that artificial intelligence and technology in general has its good side and has its bad side. The young people are able to envision this. What they need is a group of people or an environment where their ideas can be brought into reality. In 2008, I don't know when I came here, the last time I mentioned it briefly. In 2008, I imagined and put in place something called scan and pay, where you could scan the barcode of a product. And with that, you'll be able to pay for an item. Today, on the basis of that particular platform, something has not, you don't only buy things in the shop, but there's a new platform that has come called Momo. Right? Yes, I didn't make any money out of it because I did not foresee it to say, oh, my intellectual property right to actually give me money for this and that. But it is there, people are using it, and I'm proud that between myself and Eugene Bilianco, we did something great as that. The same thing that the youth who have got this knowledge are looking for somebody who will come and actually help them with a little money, a little management expertise, an environment where they can work from. So the private equity and the incubation come inside that. The incubation environment becomes, let's say, for instance, a group of youth from Legon or KNUST develop an idea, either in technology or pharmaceutical. They want to take it forward, but they lack the environment, they lack the finances, they lack the management expertise or technical expertise to bring all of this together. So they speak to a company, and the company says, yeah, why not? We can actually provide a little space for you in a corner there. There is a PC and everything, on internet access, everything ready. Come and develop your product. One of our senior technical developers will supervise you to ensure that the end product, be it a game, be it a CRM solution, whatever it is, you will be able to actually have it ready for it to go to market. So at a period of time, they are monitoring, they are guiding, they are actually giving all the expertise. They are even giving input as to how this and that work, because you don't have that knowledge. You bring all of that together And once you have brought that together, the product actually ends up being developed. But again, when you finish developing the product, you need finances and you need structures to support you where public relations is concerned. So your PR work, your roadshow, marketing roadshows, even the little money that you will live on is provided for in that incubator environment. That money comes from somewhere, which is going to be the company's contribution. But then there's going to come the situation that you need money to take the product that you've completed to the next level, where people will get to know about it. If it's a service, people are going to know about it and then just subscribe to it. If it's a product, people are going to know about it and then buy it. Somebody has to provide the money for that so that the message can go across. That is where private equity comes in.
Okay.
Sometimes private equity comes in at the very early stage where you say you have something to develop, but you need money in order to do it.
Okay, before we continue, we would like to understand what is private equity.
Private equity is Mr. Kwesi Mensah, who has, let's say, 1 million cedis. He is looking for someone to invest in because the treasury bill is not doing it anymore for him. The bond in the banks is not doing it anymore for him. Shares, he's not seeing top that much. So he wants somewhere that his money will pay off. Mr. Kwesi Mensah has heard that a group of boys are developing some new medicine, pharmaceutical product, which if somebody support them and they get to market, they will get a good return. So Mr. Kwesi Mensah decided that, okay, fine, I am going to take a little bit of my money and put in this company, giving them a chance. I understand that for maybe for 3, 5, up to 5 years, I will not see any return because they are actually developing the product and then they are going to take it to market before people actually will get to know about it. I'm willing to take that risk. It's private money of a private person taking risk that could either pay off or not pay off. So when a group of people come together and they put their money together to support such a venture, that is private equity.
Wow.
That's private money going to support a business, what do you call it, a new business or maybe an existing business.
So how will you be able to identify these people, these investors? Let me put it that way.
For instance, we have the Accra Technology Hub.
Okay.
Or we have the Investor Club.
Okay.
They are an organized outfit that very often investors approach. People with private money, they will approach and so we've got maybe 1 million cedis. We want to invest it in new businesses or new business ideas. So they come into an arrangement, they put their money there, they are assured of a certain minimum return if the business goes well. There is a minimum that has to be It's like in everything. It's only in extreme situations that the money will go and then you won't get anything back because the business didn't do well. But then a certain minimum is returned, but also where your money is going. The investment club will tell you that we are going to invest in such a company. Alternatively, there are individuals that you may know or I may know that I'll go and approach us. By the way, I've heard about this man. Let me say hypothetically, Mr. Sam Jonah.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a wealthy individual, but he also got a venture capital firm. Our Honorable Karel de Heer, he's a wealthy man. He invests in a lot of things and he supports different ventures. There's Kwame Despite. So these are people that you can approach depending on, number one, the type of product or technology or idea that you have that you think has got a future. Your ability to present yourself and your case.
Wow.
Now, this is what a lot of young people actually fall short. If you come across somebody, these individuals we are talking about, the private equity or the private investors, are very, very busy people. In a day, probably 20 people want to see them. But they may only be able to see about 5 or so because they have other things to do. So when you are given that slot and you come in front of them, you have to be in a position to actually say exactly who you are, what you want to do, why you need them, and if they agree to help you, you can actually show them results.
Whoa, that's a whole lot of work.
It is not. It all comes down to how prepared and confident you are. Very often, what I'll say to a young person that if you are going to go for such a thing, get somebody to coach you.
Okay.
Get somebody to help you so that you'll be well prepared. Do not go and then try to oversell yourself. Don't go and try to be talking about things that are not necessary. But at the same time, go prepared knowing that they are going to be asking you questions. Because you're asking them to trust you with their money. You're asking them to trust them with their environment. They don't want to bring you into the environment and all you'll be sitting there and say you'll just be browsing online or making personal phone calls at their expense. They don't want to bring you and be giving you allowance to sustain you whilst you do your work. And when it's time for you to actually show them something that you have done, you have nothing to show them.
Wow.
So this is the private equity side that individuals bring their money to come and support ideas or products. It is a risk. But a risk that we take all the time because we expect that there will be a good return. Out, for instance, let me say this. Out of maybe probably 10 opportunities that a private equity person, a private investor may come across, 2 pays off.
Okay. Wow.
Let me give a large example, or a big example here. When you take companies like maybe Facebook,
Okay.
the people that actually initially invested in Facebook, they invested in a platform that they knew brought people together. For some of them, they saw it as a platform that they would sell their own products. They didn't foresee social media actually taking up like that. But now Facebook is worth billions. Microsoft put 5 million in there. How much is their 5 billion today? Peter Thiel put also 500,000 in Facebook. How much is Peter Thiel's 500,000 today? A lot of people put just little amounts, but today they turn into billions. But at the same time, I can say to you that Microsoft put money in other companies which have gone down the drain. They are no longer available today.
Wow.
They are no longer in operation today. That is how private equity works. Sometimes you will invest and get a good result. Sometimes, so which is why we say that in every 10, average 2 to be successful. The other ones, write them off. Or even if you don't write them off, you see that the return that will come from them is not going to be too high. Yeah.
Would you advise anyone who is not tough, let me use that word, to venture into this?
Investments come with those that are, it's levels, isn't it? Somebody is comfortable with just treasury bills or buying bond. You will have a guaranteed return. Somebody is willing to say, I'll risk it. It's like a guy who is going to actually bet on a football game. It's a toss. Either there's going to be a win for your team is going to lose, or there's going to be a draw. That's how investment is. You are likely to actually lose money. That's why we advise first. That's the look. You are about to put this. Invest what you can afford to lose.
Okay.
And not pick a fight with the company invested in, or the investment club that, or maybe an institution that you went through. That is first thing. Once you understand that, then you come to the second stage, that the company could actually come up with a product, but somebody else has come up with a similar product. So if they were aiming that they will come out and they will actually make X amount in their projection, but somebody else come, if everybody was aiming for 5% of the market, you suddenly find that somebody may get 3% of the market, the other person will get 2%. So what you are projecting, you won't get necessarily. So the returns are not going to be high. So you are in the middle. Then there's also those who know very well that this is a sure banker. I'm going to push the money after it. I'm going to ensure that the marketing that they need to do, the customers they need to win, they get all of that. An example, Uber.
Okay.
Until Uber came along, there was no Yango. There was no Bolt. There was no Move. And a whole lot of other things that... Uber came around, there was a market that the taxi drivers, it doesn't matter whether in New York, Tokyo, wherever, were not fulfilling. And also because a market had been dominated by a group of people, but rather it's a middle, a customer base that were not being fulfilled. So they decided, fine, we are going to actually make sure that we actually pitch our product to that middle base. The guy who doesn't necessarily want to go in a taxi, because when the traffic stops and the meter is right, they can afford it. But at the same time, he doesn't want to go necessarily on public transport. And they come in that market, and what happened? They started making a lot of money, but they even lost money because suddenly competition started coming in, and they had to throw money into marketing, and that cost them a lot. They bounced back. Yango is there. Uber, what they call Bolt is there. You go to places, if you're a company like Move actually started recently, and they raised $105 million from private equity. Because the people that are investing are seeing the returns that these three are making. That, yeah, it's a good place to invest your money. In Africa, we come across fintech, financial technology. A lot of people that have gone into fintech have come to realize that, yes, people send money in and out. People buy things. People even take loan on financial applications. And as a result, people are investing or supporting companies that are in that space so that they can bring out their technology, they can pitch it to the platform and give customers alternatives. So you find companies probably like Swipe. You find the Kenyan ones, you find your Wise, a whole lot of others who are all offering M-Pesa, all offering fintech solutions, but very often targeted at the same marketplace. The distinguishing will be what features are offered by your technology, who is behind it. And here I even see a whole lot of things where people are bringing influencers to come and bring traction. Once you are able to bring the people, because all of these products at the end of it has to do with customers. Who is going to buy your game? Who is going to buy your, what do you call it? Even the food that they buy, we get from Bolt Food. Who is going to buy that? There's a company that with all the yellow box that's
Global.
Who is going to actually patronize their services? All of this, it's about customers. So pitching to a customer's need, that is what
interesting.
these investment opportunities are all about.
So, aside the steps you mentioned, as to what young people are supposed to do so that they don't waste or throw up an opportunity, what else are they supposed to do to attract these investors?
Okay. Networking.
Okay.
Networking. What I say is that, to be sincere with you, and this I address with a bit of caution, trepidation, and wisdom to the youth. And if they listen carefully. A place like LinkedIn, which is a business platform, is a place for connecting with business people so that you are sure that you actually know who can help you, assist you take a business idea or a business forward. It is not a dating site. I'm being very honest. When you go outside Ghana, especially in the West, that is how they see it. It is nothing but a business platform. People come to pitch ideas and things. For me, for instance, my friend who actually developed the first scan and pay technology with Eugene Biliango, I met Eugene on LinkedIn.
I also did.
Yeah.
I met you on
Yeah, we met on LinkedIn. But a lot of people come there and it's about dating sites for them.
Whoa.
So if we can get away from that idea and actually get that I came to this place with this view, but also they organize real life networking events.
Okay.
Dress properly. Go there. Have in mind that you want to meet this or that type of person. Sometimes you also may have to find out who knows that individual. And I ask them, would you be kind enough to actually introduce me to such a person? I want to discuss this with them. There are gatekeepers. who hearing what you want to do will not allow you access to the person, because they know that if you get access to the person, now you get something good. They wouldn't get any.
How will you identify those people?
It is sometimes the environment we find ourselves in.
Oh.
But very often, those people are looking for new ideas, the youth that they can support. Because for me, I know that a lot of business people who are a bit wealthy are looking for young people to support, so that the young people will not end up spending all their time sitting at Accra Mall. Some of them are sitting at Accra Mall and they're actually coding. They are doing things. I know they are doing stuff because I do approach some of them. But the majority waste their time. But I'd rather you actually make a list. And I come like my list all the time. When I come here, I say, make a list of, okay, I would like to, this is what I want to do. So this is the area I want to venture into: technology, pharmaceutical, I want to go into retail or whatever it is. This is how much I think maybe I will need to be able to do this, because I haven't got it. If I can meet such and such and such, a list of probably, goes 5 to 10. So I can pitch my idea. Then I write exactly down what I want to tell them. I let somebody who has got expertise, more experience than me, look at what exactly I want to tell the person. I want to then practice how to present or have a one-on-one like we are doing now with that person. When you have done that, then go out and then make an effort to meet the person. If you set yourself a goal of 6 months, 3 to 6 months, to meet an individual, you will know where they hang out. You know what to say to them. You know how to get their attention. Because you can say something to me and I'll walk past you. But you can say something and that'll catch my attention.
Wow.
And that person will say, okay, what did you say? Okay, come, let's sit down. Talk to me, tell me about it. And they'll say, okay, fine. This is my card. This is my secretary's name. Call her, book an appointment. Let me see you. I had one recently. A young boy actually approached me with something. We said, okay, fine. Let's make time and then sit down. We sat down. I realized I couldn't help with that. I quickly actually called another person. And I took him to see that person about something that he's got. A very good project that actually he's working on. So this is how you go about it. But let me say again that there are companies, venture capital firms, who also support. The only thing that in Ghana, a lot of them don't have money, to be very honest with you. A lot of them don't have a lot of money. So you have to be very careful who you are picking. You have to ensure that they will not waste your time. When they don't have money, they won't tell you they haven't got money. They'll take your business plan, they'll waste your time, and in the end they'll turn around and tell you, oh, sorry, it's not good enough. It's this. No, they just haven't got money, and they'll be honest with you. Also, we need to find ourselves in a situation like what you have in Nigeria now. Nigeria, the government, the federal government actually came up recently with a startup bill. The bill will create an environment where government will ensure that those who are going to take a risk in some of those things, they get some tax concessions. So it makes it that the money that they waste on tax, they invest back in the economy through the startups.
Wow. That's great.
There will be favorable terms on maybe interest. When they get a loan to actually support a startup, fine. These are things that we need to actually start looking at in Ghana. Recently, one of our good investments, Peg Africa, was acquired by B-Box for $200 million, which is a big plus for Ghana, the private equity side. This is a very big, because somebody took some risk and that risk has paid off. It makes a few young people millionaires. At the same time, it set an example for us that it can be done.
Wow.
For me, the story of Peg Africa, that's what it is, that it can be done. Ghanaians, wake up, we can do it. Youth, wake up, you can do it. I have a lot of confidence in our youth.
Wow. I see. Okay, so we are wrapping up. What is that one thing that you would say to the youth watching us, somebody who is home and a person that's thinking of how to approach with more confidence this particular channel, meeting an investor to making sure that he gets a proposal done or a proposal sponsored?
The first place, I'll say be very clear what your strength is, as in what you think you can offer the market. You define your market very, very well. If you are doing it for, it's a game, for instance, you are developing, and you know that, fine, I want to develop a game for online customers, not physical people who buy it. This day we download products. I want to make sure I develop something that probably 5 million people or 2 million people can find that. What are the strengths, the highlights, what the game do that others are not doing at the moment? Then put down what you think it's going to cost you to actually develop that game. What resources you will need. If you're able to do that, then, as I said earlier on, look for somebody who can introduce you. Be confident, not arrogant. Be confident. Go. Find where those people can actually, the people you're looking for, where they hang out. Make yourself available. Learn how to approach with a smile, well dressed, and put your idea across. They will listen to you. If you are stuck, the Heer Capital Partners will help. I'll gladly give you advice. So if they come through you, whatever they want to do, we'll gladly sit them down, help prepare them, and then take them to market as well.
Okay, so where can they contact you? If
they can contact me.
Okay, do you have
my telephone number is 0269 757 790, and my name is Karel de Heer. So please, if anybody needs help, we'll gladly help them.
Wow, thank you so much. Do you have social media handles?
No, we actually left all of that out. We did, but initially we did,
okay.
and then we decided to find. I'll tell the reason why we actually walked away from the social media handles. A lot of them, stuff that were coming through, were not sensible stuff that we didn't see the relevance. So I personally made a decision that let's close them.
Okay.
Anybody who wants to actually engage, they have always, like I said, I provide the number, and they come or they go to our website. They come from there, and then we actually qualify them.
Okay.
And then quickly bring them in, and we have this conversation. At the moment, we have 5 companies that we're actually talking to.
Okay.
Each of them that we are guiding towards particular investors. So if anybody comes out and you have a right product, something that you are convinced you can actually create a success story out of. Not, again, let's please understand it, not all are going to be successful. As I said here, out of 10, 2 will be successful. But the youth, I have so much confidence in you. I see it happening in Nigeria, I see it happening in Kenya, I see it happening in the UK, I see it happening in San Francisco. I know that it is also there in Ghana. The skills are there. So let's go for it. The sky is the limit.
The sky is the limit indeed. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation to come in on Broad Daylight. We are very grateful. In fact, it was such a soothing conversation, so soothing to the ears, such an impactful and educative words of wisdom you just shared to us. We are so grateful. We hope that the youth watching us will learn from it and then take steps. Thank you so much for being a part of this wonderful show.
Thank you also. It's always a pleasure to be here.
My name is Priscilla Moore. Don't forget to log on to our social media handles. It's Facebook Cmgh Tv, YouTube Cmgh TV, Twitter at Cmgh TV, and Instagram also on Cmgh TV. Our website is www.cmonline.com.gh. Today I was here with Mr. Karel de Heer, the President and CEO of African Technology Partner Limited. And today we spoke about how to support the youth through private incubation, private equity, and then incubation. All right, so this show is proudly sponsored by Endpoint Homeopathy Clinic, and my costume is by Pascaline. Thank you so much for this wonderful outfit. On to another episode of Broad Daylight with me, Priscilla Moore. Bye.